Hey, what's up everybody? Michael back here again, and today I want to take a look at this project by Earth Onion that is called Prosper Together. Now, if we look right here in the About section, it says Don't Starve Together Console Edition Userland exploit for the PlayStation 4. So it is for this game right here, which is called Don't Starve Together. Now, I know the first thing that you're probably wondering is this game available on physical media? And absolutely it is. This is also still in the PlayStation Store. Now, what you will learn in this is that this does work for the European version as well as the North American version, and I thought that at least I would show you the North American version. So let me go ahead and cut to some footage of that. So here we go. I got this in the mail, and this again is the North American version here. This one is the T for Teen. Obviously the T for Teen or the PEGI works perfectly well there. And this one is just called Don't Starve Mega Pack. The last thing that I'll show here is going to be the disc and what that looks like. So hopefully this helps you out there. Now, do note that at the bottom of the front cover, it does say includes Don't Starve Together. That is going to be the game that this repo works with, and that obviously is why it's called Prosper Together. So again, it does come with a couple of DLCs and some other things, but again, that is not what we really need. We just want the Don't Starve Together game. Now, back over on the PC, while exploring this repo, I did discover that this game, Don't Starve Together Console Edition, is not the same version that Fell Overflow released in their repo here called Prosperous. Now in theirs, we obviously located out this save folder here, and we could see that they had a readme.txt and it said, put the save from this title ID here. So if you go ahead and you look up this number here, you'll see that this was for the Don't Starve Console Edition. So it is pretty interesting to know that this one is coming from the Don't Starve Together Console Edition instead of the one that they used in the repo over here. Now, taking a look at the repo for the end user, there's really not a lot to see here. A lot of this is aimed towards developers that are planning on using this. So if you are an end user, just go over here to the releases, and you're going to want to download this file right here, which is called cusa.zip file, because we're going to need that in just a few moments. Now, back over on the PlayStation 4, you do not have to be jailbroken in order to take advantage of this. So what we're going to do to begin with here is, again, I'm not running Gold Hen or anything like that. I'm just on a freshly booted up PlayStation 4. I'm going to go ahead now and put the disc in the drive. Okay, so you will see that there are two games here. The first one is the Don't Starve Console Edition, and you do not want that one. You want this one, which is called Don't Starve Together. So I'm going to go ahead and press X on that. And at this point, it is going to go ahead and get that game installed to my local hard disk drive. Okay, so now that has finished copying over. And if I go ahead and check out the information here, we can see that right there we are on 1.25. But now that we've got that, I find that the easiest way to do this is to just go ahead and boot up the game like you normally would, and then try to make it to at least the first title screen here. At least that's what I've been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. I'm going to press X, play offline, and then I am just going to let it set right here. So at this point, you can go ahead and minimize that and go ahead and select Close Application. So from here, go ahead and get an exFAT USB thumb drive and put it in your PlayStation 4, because we need to export the save that we have out of here. So go ahead and connect up a USB drive. Okay, so I have already plugged mine in, so I'm going to go to where it says Save Data in System Storage, and then copy to USB storage device. And then right up there at the top, you'll see it says Don't Starve Together Console Edition. We'll press X on that, put a check mark in here, and then go to where it says copy. And at this point, it will be copying that over. Okay, so once this finishes up, go ahead and unplug the USB drive and plug it into a PC. Okay, so on your PC, you'll see USB drive and then PS4 and then save data. And right here is going to be your account ID. So again, just going in here and copy this out if you don't already have it somewhere, as we're going to need to put that into Garlic Saves in just a moment. Okay, so go ahead and head over to garlicsaves.com, and right here is where I've went ahead and pasted in that account ID. This is the one which maps up with the 7C right here. So if you don't see yours in the list, then just go ahead and create a new profile. Then from there, we're going to go to where it says Resign, and we are going to select the appropriate account ID. So go ahead and extract the save somewhere that you downloaded from GitHub, and you're going to want to drag and drop both of these files. They are titled save and then save.bin directly into this box, and then click on Start Resign. So now it's going to upload those, and it's going to put us in the queue. Okay, and so now at this point, it does say that the re-sign process is done, and we can go ahead and click download the result. So at this point, you should have a re-signed save game, so you can just go ahead and extract that. Ours is just right here, so if we go inside of that, you'll see we have a save and then a save.bin. So back over with your USB drive inserted, you're going to go to the PS4 folder and then save data, and then click on your account ID and then go into the game. And you are going to take these two files that came from Garlic Saves, and you are going to copy those over on top of the ones that's currently on the USB drive. So at this point, take out the USB drive and plug it in your PS4. Now back over on your PlayStation 4, let's go back to Settings, and we're going to scroll down to Application Save Data Management, and then Save Data on the USB storage device, and we're going to select Don't Starve. We're going to put a check mark right there, and we are going to select Copy. Now it's going to ask you, do you want to override the save file? And you absolutely do. So just press yes on that. And once that is complete, you can go ahead and launch the Don't Starve Together game. So let's go ahead and get the game booted up, and I'll show you where you can start this exploit. Now, one other quick thing to keep in mind here is that definitely go ahead and plug in a network connection if you haven't already, because this is obviously going to open up a port that we can send Lua files to. Okay, so go ahead and press the start button when you see that, and we are going to press X here, and we are going to play offline. So we'll go to host game here, and right there it is. It says Prosper Together loaded. Listening on 10.0.0.5 on port 9066. Now it is pretty interesting that it does say EU for the region there. Now if we go and we look on the far right hand side, it just says Prosper Together by Earth Onion with the IP and the port number, and then we see Remote Lua Loader. Okay, so I thought I would show you more realistically what happens when you run this. So while you just saw it working first time, for the most part, whenever you go ahead and you launch the game here, and we're going to hit host game, and so this blue screen of death, as you see right here, this is more than likely what you're going to get, 9 times out of 10 in my testing, at least on the PS4 and the PS5. So now that we have it up and running, you may be wondering, what can we actually do with this? Well, inside of the repo here, you'll see there is a folder there that is called Payloads. And inside of the payloads, you're going to see there is 2 that's currently available to us. Now, the one that's going to be the most interesting is going to be the FTP server.lua file. And with this file right here, you could use something like Netcat GUI and then specify the IP address and the port number, and then just go ahead and point it towards that FTP underscore server.lua and then inject the payload. And so I showed that just a couple of days on X, as you can see over here. And well, really, that's just about it for what you can do with this, at least as of this moment. Now, I am going to leave you with some additional footage of just exploring the disk. Let's go ahead now and let's go into PS4 Explorer first. Let's go ahead and click on that, and we're going to go to root access. We're going to scroll down here, go into mount and then disk, and there is the contents of this disk. So we can see for the PlayStation 4, there is an update here, and right there you can see this one is around 2017. So this one's going to be quite an older firmware here. And then there is an add CONT folder. So if we look at that, we can see right there is the CUSA 00158. So this is the additional content. So inside of this, you can see here is for the Don't Starve game. And there is just a small PKG file. And then it looks like this is the other downloadable content as well. So pretty cool that the DLC is on the disk. Let's go into the app folder, and then if we go down, we'll see a BD folder here, and we've got a metadata.pkg and a param.sfo. And if we go back, we can go into the license folder here. There is a couple of different RIF files, and then right there is the patch. So it does look like this one does include the patch as well. So if we go to that, you can see the patch there running around 634 megabytes, as well as the other game. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Michael, out!